It's Wednesday, October 18th, 2017. I'm Ryan Gilt, and this is your Barbados Today news update. Barbados is now the first country in the region to start implementing new international guidelines for sexual offence cases. The guidelines are part of a multi-million-dollar judicial reform and institutional strengthening project being funded by the Canadian government. They're intended to provide internationally accepted best practices for the management of sexual offence cases in the region. They're also offering a rights-based approach to the treatment of complaints and vulnerable witnesses, including children involved in sexual assault cases. When he addressed the launch of the document, Chief Justice Sir Marston Gibson lamented that it takes too long to wrap up sexual offence cases.
One of the things that we have not really been very good at doing is listening to the victim, hearing the victim speak. What has happened is that victims tend to speak through the probation report. So when the pre-sentence report is handed up, that's when you hear the victims speak. In our sentence indications, plea bargaining, or as it's called, guilty plea workshop, one of the central features of the practice direction, which is being worked on, but actually we have it, it's already out in draft, is that there's going to be room for a victim impact statement. We refuse to again, relegate the victim to part of the backlog.
Meanwhile, sexual assault survivor Alicia Bailey is appealing to the judicial officials to honor the guidelines on sexual offences. She was sexually assaulted at various times between ages 4 and adulthood, including by her father.
Many other women, girls and boys have had similar experiences of being silenced, demeaned and traumatized by the justice system. The justice system, which I felt would protect me, in fact, did the opposite. I am cautiously optimistic about the guidelines. On the one hand, the guidance provided is how, as a survivor, I would have had liked to be treated. However, nothing will change unless the people who work within the justice system begin to apply the words.
In other news, Sandals Public Relations Manager David Hines says he's happy with the public's response to the company's job fair, which ends today. The company is looking to hire as much as 600 employees when Sandals Royal Barbados opens its doors on December 20th. He told Barbados Today that over 2,000 people have attended the job fair over the last 2 days, and they're expecting even more to pass through the doors of the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Centre today.
The job fairs for all categories of employment within the hotel. We started yesterday with our front office and laundry engineering departments, and today and Wednesday primarily we're going to do food and beverage and point of sales like resort shop, gift shop, and roofs and so on. We've been encouraged. As you know, Sandals Royal Barbados is set to open on December 20th of this year, and we will need roughly about 700 persons. So this is why the job fair is so important to fill those various roles.
Meantime, the hotel is moving full steam ahead with its plans for a beaches resort at the site of the old Ammon Beach village in St. Peter.
We're looking to start break ground on that hopefully next year. As soon as we open Sandals Royal and get it, give us a few months to get it functioning, and then we're going to break ground in St. Peter at Haywards.
Would the plans be the same as what would have been announced years ago?
To be honest, I suspect there'll be a few changes, probably a few more amenities. As you know, 2 years ago, we had plans and that has changed, so I'm sure the amenities such as the water parks and so on, the designs would have changed. It's still gonna be kid friendly, family oriented, but in terms of what was originally planned, there may be a few changes to the architecture in terms of some of the buildings and features and so on. Yeah.
Former Governor General Sir Clifford Husbands is to be accorded a state funeral. Prime Minister Frundell Stewart made the announcement in the House of Assembly yesterday. The service is set for Friday, November 3rd at 10 o'clock in the morning at the St. Lucy Parish Church. Sir Clifford, who passed away last Wednesday at the age of 91, served as Director of Public Prosecutions, a Justice of Appeal, and Supreme Court Judge. He also acted as Chief Justice before serving as the island's 6th Governor General from 1996 until his retirement at the end of October 2011. He was the longest-serving head of state. Minister of Transport Michael Lashley says the completion of the new public service vehicle terminal at River Road in the city is on track. He told Barbados Today that while he expected the facility would be open by early January 2018, officials have asked for an earlier date. The minister's comments come in response to calls for PSV owners and operators for better working conditions.
We're in challenging economic times, so we have to take each step as it comes. But I fully support in terms of the calling for better conditions. We will partner with them in terms of better conditions of work. Particularly, that's why we're building the river terminal, because they asked for it. So we're doing that. We hope to. We wanted to open it in by early January, but we're waiting to see if we can get it speed up before then. But that is the system. That's the first step in providing conditions for them, better conditions for them.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, touching one community at a time.
To regional news, where in Trinidad and Tobago, a massive oil slick in the Gulf of Paria has left authorities with more questions than answers. And in the latest twist, the Energy Minister, Franklin Khan, has charged that the oil spill was an intentional act. We hear more in this TV6 report.
There are some theories as to where it could have come from, but I don't want to cast aspersion on anybody. There's something called fingerprinting of the oil, where they will take samples of this, test it, you get this fingerprint, and then you can check. Once the fingerprinting could identify specifically where the spill come, obviously we will have to go after the person responsible.
The offender will face what the minister describes as dire financial consequences, but actually laying the fine may prove a bit difficult, as the existing legislation does have some loopholes.
Like if Petrotrin is responsible for an oil spill, you know what the actions are under the EMA Act. Where the legislation is weak is for undocumented oil spills like this. Because this is, in other words, a ship could have passed through here on Saturday night and dumped this material and just go. Okay, so that is the type of legislation we need, where there's greater surveillance and then there is still liability even after you leave the jurisdiction.
U.S. President Donald Trump's latest bid to impose travel restrictions on citizens from 8 countries entering the U.S. has suffered a major court defeat. A federal judge slapped a temporary restraining order on the open-ended ban before it could take effect later this week. The policy targets Iran, Libya, Syria, Yemen, Somalia, Chad, and North Korea, as well as some Venezuelan officials. Previous iterations of the ban targeted 6 Muslim-majority countries, but were checked by the Supreme Court. The state of Hawaii sued in Honolulu to block Mr. Trump's 3rd travel ban, which was set to go into effect earlier today. It argued that the president did not have the power under federal immigration law to impose such restrictions. The U.S. District Judge Derek Watson, who blocked a previous travel ban by Mr. Trump in March, issued the new restraining order. And that's the news, but there's more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper or email updates and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and on Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also tune in to Mix 96.9 FM for more news. I'm Ryan Jones.